You see what I'm saying? So tonight, let's get into it. So I've been asking myself a question, you know, about the Atlantic slave trade. And, Black American is a trademark corporation. We're about to get into all that right now. Delineation, what's going on, brother? So we about to get into that right now. So, since I joined TikTok and I started going live and we started talking about being indigenous to America, there was one question I kept having. My question was, why is it so hard for these other groups of blacks to believe that we're indigenous? Like, why is it so far-fetched? I mean, if we go with the narrative that everybody's from Africa, everybody originated from Africa, what's so hard to believe that we're indigenous to America? I'm not understanding what makes it so difficult. And it just was mind-boggling. So, what I did was when I first came out, I started asking people questions. I started saying, okay, simple questions too. Ask them, okay, how many boats did it take for them to send out there to the Atlantic Ocean to get all the slaves? How much money did you guys pay the Africans? Oh, hold up, 99. Listen, y'all, tonight's show's going to be a little bit different. I'm not really here to debate. This is a teaching class to listen, and then I'm going to let y'all on a little bit later. I'm not letting people on right now because I got something we got to address. So, I'll ask, these groups of people that believe in the Atlantic slave trade, how much money did y'all pay the Africans? They don't have a clue. Okay, how many ships did they make? They don't have a clue. Okay, where are the ships now? They don't have a clue. Okay, how many Africans made it from Africa to America? They don't have a clue. How many came to North America? How many came to South America? How many came to the Caribbean? They don't have a clue. Who designed the ships? They don't got a clue. So it's kind of like, yo, how are you telling me who I am and you don't even know your own theory? Like, I know your own theory better than you know your own theory. So I kept asking myself, why does everybody want to believe this concept that we all came from Africa? And then it hit me. I got it. My problem is, I'm not white. I'm not white. That's the issue. The issue is, I am not white. That's the problem with these other these Caribbeans and these Africans. See what I'm saying? They only they believe in the I'm white and I say so. So that's my bad. My bad, y'all. My bad. I forgot y'all only believe white folks. That's my fault. See what I'm saying? I thought y'all wanted information, but y'all want information from white people, not me. Because y'all debunk all the black scholars. Any black scholar that comes out that I mentioned, y'all debunk the fuck out of them. Goddamn. Tariq Nasheed. Oh, that's Tariq Nasheed. Oh, that's Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Ivan Sertima. We don't listen to Dr. Goddamn. So who the hell y'all? So who the hell y'all believe in? No black scholars? So I said, you know what? Since y'all don't like black scholars, let's see what white folks say. Since y'all believe in the I'm white and I say so, let's go with white folks. Fuck it. Fine. My bad. I was speaking from a place of black scholarship till I realized y'all don't like black scholarship. Y'all want to hear what white folks got to say. You like the Eurocentric ideology? Fine. Let's see what white folks have to say. So that's what we're going to get in tonight. We're going to talk about Black Americans are indigenous to America, and here's how. But we're going to use white people's proof. We're not going to use my proof. We are going to use white people's proof. See what I'm saying? So let's use the proof that white people have laid down, since y'all don't want to believe anything I got to say or any scholar has to say. Fuck it. Whatever. Here it is. So here we go. Let's get into it. So before I get into it, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to bring up DNA because y'all don't want to believe in that. Y'all don't want to believe that DNA was already found here, so we're not going to do that. I'm not going to bring up the Albert Perry DNA. I'm not going to bring up the Louisa Bone DNA. What's going on, Roxy? We're not going to talk about that tonight. We're just going to talk about what white people said. We're going to read from white journals first, and then we're going to read from white law, U.S. law. That's what we're going to read from tonight. Nothing else. Caribbeans and Africans. I didn't make none of this shit up. This information does not belong to me. This information belongs to the public. I didn't do shit. This did not come from no nigga. No nigga created this. None. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. All right. So let's start with how can you prove Black Americans were not in America? What time frame? This is usually what I ask people who say, well, how are you indigenous? Then I come back and I ask them, prove that we never been here. Name a time in history where Black people have never been mentioned in the Americas. Never. I'm talking about ever. Not even a trace, not even a drop, not even a confusion. Name a time in history where Black Americans weren't associated with America in any sort of way. So let's go ahead and start with the European documents, because they were the first ones to go ahead and start journaling stuff when they went over and they started to travel to the Americas. Let's see what they found, and let's talk about what they said. So the first explorer we're going to start with, since y'all love Europe, this is white folks, y'all. This is not me. This is white folks. So let's go ahead and talk about what white folks said when they came over here. So the first explorer we're going to talk about is Christopher Columbus. So in his journal, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all are aware of it, he marked how he came encounters with supposedly Native Americans in the Caribbean, if you want to call it Hispaniola, Haiti, Bahamas, whatever. And then his first interactions, the indigenous or natives, told him that black-skinned people came from the southeast. So that's Africa. That's the Atlantic. Came from the southeast in boats. Okay, that's one. Now listen, these journals are not even this is not even the icing on the cake. We are just starting from the Americas and going down. So stay with me. I'm taking y'all down. We're gonna go far into this. This is just the scratch. This is not even proof yet. I'm just letting y'all know that there has already been mentions of blacks in America. 2, the second explorer, Vasco Núñez de Balboa. In 1513, Balboa reached the Darien region, modern Panama, that's Central America, and reported seeing several black men captured by native peoples. These dark-skinned men lived nearby, and they were often at war with the natives. Consider these the first Negroes seen in the Indies. This is Vasco Núñez de Balboa. This is not my research. This is what white people said, since y'all love them so much. This is what Europeans have said. The third European explorer, we have Fray Gregorio Garcia, stated in Peru, noted an island off of Cartagena where Spanish explorers encountered blacks. Calabello de Bola documented 17 black individuals who were shipwrecked, survived in Ecuador, and apparently became rulers over Native American communities. Listen, y'all, this is white folks. These are white explorers. I'm reading to you what they said. This is their journal. I'm butchering their names right now. I hope y'all know that. I'm butchering their names. Listen, I can't. These are Latin European names. I don't know what the fuck, but I'm doing my best. Okay, the fourth explorer. Damn, y'all love y'all some white folks. Boy, I tell you, dog. Shit. Giovanni da Verrazzano, 1524, the Italian explorer. Here's what he said. Describe the native inhabitants of the Carolina coast, current day North Carolina, black in color, not unlike Ethiopians, with thick black hair tied, appeared well proportioned, of medium height, a bit taller than Europeans, with broad chest, strong arms, and well-formed legs. He describes these groups of natives as agile and swift. Now, what niggas we know is agile and swift? Who's more agile and swift than us? Who's more easy? What's good, boy? Who's more agile and swift than us? Nobody. See what I'm saying? Who's more easy? What's good, boy? Who's more agile and swift than us? Nobody. You see what I'm saying? So of people, these were the journals of Europeans, early Europeans who arrived in the Americas. Every single one of these people have mentioned seeing a dark-skinned complexion, black, Negro, Negroid, or whatever you want to call it, person. So this is the beginning of America. We didn't even get into America yet. We haven't even gotten into the history of the U.S. yet. These are Spaniards. Now we're about to get into law. Now we're about to cook y'all ass. Now we're about to get into what I want to talk about for real. See what I'm saying? That was just an intro. So, but before we get into that, for all you Caribbean people out there, there are mentions of the French and the British calling the Caribbeans the Black Caribs, describing the natives as Afro-Caribbeans or whatnot. See what I'm saying? So y'all got a little bit of indigenous in y'all too. See what I'm saying? So the whole North America, there has been proof that there have been some type of blacks here. I don't care if you're from the islands or you're from the North America, the land mass. It's been documented. I'm reading y'all journals from Europeans saying that they came across people who look like us in the Americas. Now, let's get into the confusion of the Atlantic slave trade. All right. Fuck. Boy, y'all, y'all niggas tough, boy. Y'all tough. Boy, shit. My bad, shit. I forgot y'all don't like black scholars. Y'all want white folks teaching y'all. So I'm reading from white folks' documents. Don't be mad at me. Anyways, so let's roll into 1619. 1619 was the first time that they started bringing slaves over from Africa, supposedly Africa, right? So 1619 is when the first slaves started to arrive in America. So let me take y'all to 1662. And this is when reclassification of slavery happened. And this is very important. I hope y'all are listening. In 1692, a ruling came out called the baby follows the womb. This is in law. This is the Virginia Act of 1662. The baby follows the womb. And it's called the Partuus Secretum Vertorum in 1662. If y'all watching this on YouTube, I'm going to drop all the links down below because I'm butchering Latin terms. Fuck them. So if y'all want them, that's where the info will be at. But just look up the baby follows the womb, 1662 Virginia Act. And basically what this means, I hope y'all listening, any child born to an enslaved woman would automatically be enslaved, regardless of the father's status, even if the father was free or white. So the reason why this is important, because I want y'all to understand what's going on in 1662. What's going on in 1662 is they're getting ready to stop importing slaves from Africa. Because like I said before, one of my questions was how financially smart is it to keep creating boats to go to Africa back and forth for 400 years, supplying each boat and paying Africans? Because here's what y'all don't understand. This is expensive as fuck. This is not no cheap trip. And I don't understand why y'all think these Europeans are balling, or these whatever you want to call them, are balling at this point. See, they're not balling. This is why they need slaves. They're trying to grow their economy. So they're not spending money going back and forth this is an expensive trip. So what they said was, God damn, fuck, it's expensive going to Africa. So they said, what we're going to do is any woman who is not white, if you mess around and get pregnant, that baby is automatically a slave. Now, this is why this is so important. This is so important because it means that if your mama wasn't white and she pushed you out, you are automatically classified as a Negro. See, the term Negro and Indian were interchangeable. There was no difference. They didn't come in the 1600s and started calling people Native Americans. they were calling them Negroes. So it was only white and Negroes. So when they said anybody who's not white, that include blacks, Moors, natives, whatever y'all want to call them, the minute you push that baby out, it's a Negro, it's a slave. So we don't know who is who at this time. We don't know when they said, okay, whoever's enslaved is our Africans. You don't know if that's an African. They're calling everybody a Negro. They just said any child born to an enslaved woman who would automatically be enslaved, regardless of father's status, even if the father was free or white. So meaning, even if your daddy, even if a slave master free, even if a white man got you pregnant, if they considered you anything other than white, you were born into slavery. If your mother was anything other than white. So this brings up, okay, then how can you tell who's Negro, who's African, who's what? You don't know. Right. And then the second point. So the Atlantic slaves, so the reason why they needed to do this, the reason why they came up with this rule is because, like I told you, they couldn't afford going back and forth to Africa. That's too expensive. You're going to pay the Africans. You're going to create all these boats. You're going to put food and supply on these boats. They said, fuck that. We're just going to get everybody here who's already on this landmass. We already got enough Africans. Only 3% of Africa came to America. They grabbed that 3% and said, fuck it. Who's ever here, whoever, we're just going to get everybody pregnant. And if you're not white, you're considered a Negro. Plain and simple. If you're not white, you are a Negro. Plain and simple. That's it. So the term Native American wasn't around like that. Indian was interchangeable with Negro. Everybody was considered a nigger. See what I'm saying? All right. So the second ruling we have, where that's at. The second ruling we have is, got down, the 1854 California Supreme Court ruling. I couldn't get the act because ChatGPT, I don't use ChatGPT for my resource. I use ChatGPT to find links. See what I'm saying? But ChatGPT kept on erasing it, saying, we don't want to keep providing you this information. I got the screenshots. I'll post it later. The screenshots of ChatGPT saying, we can't give you this information. So I had to hurry up and screen record before it took it away. It will start downloading and it will take the information away. But it was too late. I already got it. So the 1854 California Supreme Court ruling said, in a landmark decision, this is 1854, slavery ended in 1865. So 1854 in California, in a landmark decision, the California Supreme Court treated black person as a generic legal category covering all non-Caucasians. So just like the baby follows the womb, they're still calling everybody a Negro all the way up to 1854, basically. If you wasn't black, if you wasn't white, you're considered a Negro. So it says black person as a generic legal category covered all non-Caucasians, not just people of African descent. Evidence that black/Negro could be used interchangeably with other non-white status, like Asians and Native American. See what I'm saying? So when I ask people, prove we weren't here, they can't. White people couldn't even prove it. They don't know who was who. They were calling anybody everything. So when y'all read the history books, you know what I'm saying? They start saying, oh, well, they started dividing us later. That's why we went through so many. Why do you think we went through so many classifications? Negro, Black American, African American. Right. Like I said, this is not my documentation. I didn't come up with this. I didn't make this up. Y'all love white people, Eurocentric ideology. This is it. This is what they said. You had, one more time, for the people who don't know, you had the 1662 Baby Follows the Womb Act, stating if you was enslaved, they didn't say who, They just said it didn't matter. If you pushed the baby out, you was considered a Negro, because they weren't going to go back to Africa back and forth. That trip is too expensive. We don't even have a carnival right now that goes to Africa from Florida. Right. So they said baby falls in the womb, meaning your mother, if she pushed you out, you are classified as a Negro. It don't matter if you're a Native American. It don't matter if you was Asian, whatever you was considered a Negro if you weren't white. It don't care if your father was white. They didn't care if you're a mulatto. And then the second act we had, the 1854 California Supreme Court ruling, which basically said black person as a generic legal category covered all non-Caucasians. So the question is, when did the term Native American come about? When did the term Native American come about? Slavery is about to end in the next 10 years. It's 1854. Slavery is about to end in 1865. They stopped transporting slaves because it was too expensive, 1790. Right. They needed to keep up. So here's, I try to debunk the breeding plantation. I was wrong. This is the breeding plantation, not by force though. They're basically saying the breeding plantation wasn't let's make people breed. The breeding plantation was whoever breeds that's not white, even if you did it naturally, we are considering you a slave. Whoever breeds, whether it's natural, forced, if you had a baby, you messed around and had a baby, you wasn't white, that baby will be considered a Negro and a slave. That's what the breeding plantation was. It wasn't the plantation of put them in the house, make a man get hard. You can't make a man get hard and force them to breed. It was, let's use the womb as a transport for slavery. Right. So that's that, y'all. I ain't finna get into it no more. That's my last time debunking. See what I'm saying? The Atlantic slave trade and all that. I'm not debunking the Atlantic slave trade. It did happen, but not in the numbers that they happened in. It doesn't make economic sense financially, and this just proves it. They're telling you they had to come up with these acts because they're not gonna keep going back and forth to Africa. That's not what they're not gonna do. It don't make no sense. So slavery started in 1619. They ended that transporting shit, started to end that transporting shit in 1662. The Atlantic slave trade was abolished in 1770. Slavery ended in 1865. Right. Anyways, there was 3.8 million slaves in America by the end of slavery. There was 4 million slaves freed by 1865. 4 million. By 1865, only 4 million slaves under the what they call it, proclamation was freed. Only 4 million. That's it. That's not a lot. That means the rest of us was running around. Anyways, let's bring up some people. Let's get some people talking. Because this is my last night talking about this. I'm not going to talk about this no more with y'all ass. Especially people who ain't do no research for real. See, the thing about it is these people going to come in here and say, oh, no, that couldn't happen. But when I start asking questions, they don't got no, I got all my facts straight. Years, dates, journals, documentation, laws. This is legal documentation of how they did it. So what I call it is, I call it the Great Swirl. So this is how Black Americans came about. Black Americans came about from the 1662 Baby Falls the Womb Act, which the white man went ahead and said, any person on this landmass who's not considered white, if you get pregnant, I'm calling you a Negro. That's when that Great Swirl started happening. That's when we was mixed with Africans, only that 3%, mixed with white, mixed with Black Indigenous. Then we started to get Black American after ethnogenesis happens. This is how ethnogenesis happens. This is why we don't act the same like Africans. Some of us don't look the same as Africans. Some of us, not all of us. So I'm saying this is why we're different. Our makeup is different. Right. We do have black indigenous in us. So I'm saying some of us do have a little bit of African in us. Not a lot. There's only 3% of them niggas. Right. So this is how you get black indigenous. Anyways, oh god damn, we had to start off with you, brother. God damn, you brother, shit.
Hey, good evening, brother.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, have you ever seen the website slavevoyages.org? How do you feel about this website now? They're very
Okay.
detailed, very detailed, very
So
detailed.
hold on. Before we get into it, Obi, I just came out with an intro saying that my problem with y'all is I was speaking from black scholarship. You guys love white scholarship. You guys love Eurocentric scholarship. So I went ahead and got Eurocentric documentation. And then you come back to me with some more Eurocentric document. God damn it. I just can't. Y'all niggas just can't get away from Europeans. Y'all love these niggas. Brother, I just gave you what came before the slave.org website, nigga. This was the website before the website, nigga. I just gave you Eurocentric. Didn't I just tell y'all that the goddamn Caribbeans and Africans love Eurocentric talking points? This is why I came over here with Eurocentric documentation. So, brother, you're about to cross-examine me on European documentation? Is that what you're about to do with something that came way later than this European documentation? Go ahead.
No, brother, I don't want to do that. This website looks very detailed. That's all. I just wondered if you've seen the website, but
First of all, no, I haven't. I don't look into that. But give me the year that website was created. What year was it created?
uh, you could hold on. Let me see if I could go to
Yeah,
these.
go Google it and tell me what year that website was created. And let's see if it predates what I have. If it don't predates it, you can't use it, brother.
But it's the details on this one. You can actually see the ships that don't exist in your world.
No, brother. You see what I'm saying? Okay, you want to bring up ships? Okay, how many ships? Well, how many ships did the slave.org said? I want y'all to pay attention to something. They had to come up with a website just to cover up their tracks. See what I'm saying? Or the Atlantic slave trade. The thing about history is you can't cover up everything. You can't come on and start hiding stuff. Because they left the trail. See, the thing about lying is it's hard to keep up with a lie when you've been lying for so damn long. If I'm cheating on my girlfriend, one day I'm gonna get caught up. There's some messages, there's something I left behind, laundry, there's something, there's gonna be a crack in the wall. Europeans leave cracks in the wall and they try to cover up with the I'm white and I say so. Right. So you could bring up the slave.org all you want. I'm not gonna listen to that shit. That's fine. You can talk about it all you want. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to come back and try to disclaim. But the slave.org doesn't get rid of this is not my information. This is white people information. But anyways, let's get some more people on. Let me deal with you. Other groups of people.
Can I say something?
Wait, go ahead, Obi.
Listen, I'm a Nigerian. Someone has a hot microphone. Please mute your microphone, please. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. But yeah, so I want you to pay attention to this. They even have pictures of these ships, but you don't want to believe it. Oh well, I just want to know what were you doing in America? What were you doing here while Africans was in Africa getting shipped here? What were you doing?
What do you mean?
Yeah, so are you part of the small percentage of Africans that came to America, or were you here before? I want to know this one.
All right. Your question is, are you part of the small population that came from Africa? So let me tell you about how
That's
stupid
not the
that question
question. That's
is. Let me tell you how stupid that question is. I just told you, hold on, brother. I just told you that we were mixed in with only 3%. Only 3. And you're still trying to get that little 3%, its whole genre. You're trying to say that 3% just consumes all of the other mixing I just told you about. It's at this point that 3% is insignificant, brother, is what I'm trying to get you to understand. After ethnogenesis, after we've been mixed in with 80%, 90% of Black, Indigenous, Native American, European, that 3% no longer has it. Some of us have it, some of us don't. I might have it. I might have the 3%.
No, you don't have it. I could tell. I'm looking at you. You don't have it.
I might have the 3, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter, is my point. It doesn't matter at this point, is what I'm trying to tell you. That's it. So if y'all want to, hey, these Africans are so sad. These niggas say,
You have those red eyes, yellow teeth.
Hold on. Well, brother, the 3% of Africans that came over is still you, though. Don't you want to be attached to us? That 3% is still you. Nigga, you go.
No, you could have came to Haiti and then they tried.
Nigga, when has 3%
Just because you
ever
like
been
a
good?
nigga, you mean you what?
Hold on. When has 3% ever been good? Let's say you get a 3% on a test. Nigga, you fail.
Are you gonna let us talk, or you gonna just you show?
Hold on. If you're 3%, if you got 3% on a test, you failed. That is not a passing grade. You failed.
You know the whole time you've been
Don't
talking.
that mean the same
Hold on,
thing?
hold
You
on,
got
hold on.
3% native.
No, hold on. The whole time you've been talking, I've been watching the whole transatlantic slave trade. They have a movie right here showing the ships going off to Brazil, the Caribbeans, even into by 17.
Okay. All right, OB, I'm gonna drop you because we don't. This is a scholar panel. You're not being a scholar right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
So, got a
first,
question for you,
hold
nigga.
on. First of all, listen. I thought you Africans were supposed to be smart. Y'all need to
You
be
don't let
smart.
others talk.
Listen, mentioning movies, mentioning
How
things that
come
don't
you
predate.
score whenever
Hey,
you
hold
don't
on,
let them?
brother, because I will drop your ass. Respect my panel. So chill out. You up next. There's only 2 people who's on right now. Just wait.
Hurry the fuck
The
up.
only people who seem to come on this panel uneducated is Africans. And then go ahead, patriarch. What you got to say?
You know, can you turn to the side a little bit for me, please?
Okay, that's another nigga who got to get off of here. So listen, if you're not able to be a scholar, you got to go. And listen, Black Americans, this is what we're talking about. They're not smart. They're not as smart as they claim to be. These niggas, they're idiots. These niggas are idiots, bro. So I'm saying these niggas are stupid. They're not smart. And we was wondering why their country is how it is. Now we know. These niggas stupid. Hold on. GS99, talk to me, brother. What's going on?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like many of the Africans, they don't ready for a debate with FBA because many of them saying you all think Africa is a country, but they think America is a country. But anyway,
Right.
what I'm saying is that you see, the reason why you are different from the Africans is because you are from out of thousands of tribes and become one people.
Right.
The Africans is from one tribe or 2 tribes, and they don't even get along back in Africa. So like that's why you as a person in the USA gonna be different because you are multiplied differently. And when you come here, it was different people from different tribes that come together and make one. You see,
Right.
me? And the USA actually have the same motto as Jamaica, like out of many one people. So really and truly, you're actually different from the Africans, but you still is the offspring of the Africans, though.
Yeah, so you see, we never, it would be, hold on, it would be incorrect to say that some of us have no African in us. I believe some of us have a higher population in African in us than others, but not all Black Americans have a high population. I might have 1%, 2% African. I don't care. It don't matter, but because it's not significant anymore. It doesn't matter. It's been all the other things been mixed in so much, it don't really, who gives a damn? All right. So, anyways, talk to me, brother.
Was
So like, what he used to tell you that? You use a DNA test or what?
DNA test not gonna break all that down, brother.
So what do you used to tell that it's only 2% African ancestry in you?
Well, first of all, if you actually use their theory, if you use their theory that 12.5 million blacks came from Africa, you'll know that only 400,000 or 300,000 came to America. And if you do the math, this is written in their slave.org.com. If you do the math, that's only 3%. 300,000 is only 3% out of 12.5 million. The rest went to the Caribbeans. Millions went to the Caribbeans. A small population went to the Bahamas, and the highest population went to South America. Supposedly, only 3% came to North America. So, and then out of that 3%, we jumped to 40 million. Fast as hell.
Remember, back in the day, the America was the 13th colony. It was not what it is today.
Right.
So the 400,000 they're talking about, it was just for that 13th colony.
Exactly. A great point. So that 300,000 didn't support the whole United States. It was only Virginia. That's why I read y'all, matter of fact, that's why I read y'all the Virginia Act of 1662. The Virginia was part of the 13 colonies. That's where slavery started at. Right. So, and they told you, anybody who wasn't white, any woman who wasn't white who pushed out a baby, they classified that baby as a Negro. You're a slave. So whether you're a Native American, whether you're African, Black, Indigenous, your ass was a Negro. You was a slave. Because like I told y'all, that trip to Africa is too expensive. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's going out there for 400 years, putting supplies on boats. You know what I'm saying? Feeding each boat. Shipwrecks. You got to pay the Africans. There's no receipts. There's no receipts of paying. Hold on, GS. Y'all understand something? The Europeans just came out of delineating. Y'all hear that? Delineating from the brick. They don't got money like that. They're trying to get money. They're trying to start a business with the slave trade. Simple and easy. They don't have all that money to be building boats to send it. They're poor. They're not rich. For y'all to believe that they just had this disposable money to be making boats, paying Africans, paying the food for this 3 months trip each for 400 years. Y'all crazy. That's why they ended that shit in 1790. That shit was not possible. They can't. Y'all dumb as hell. Y'all not, it's either that or y'all not business people. Y'all not businessmen. Y'all work 9 to 5s and shit. Not the shit on people work 9 to 5s, but y'all don't know how to think. Y'all don't know how to critically think. You're not, you just don't got it in you. Anyways, brother. Wait, hold on. GS9, you had something else to say, brother?
Yeah, as what I said, no, the 13th colony was not include Florida. It was not include Louisiana and all the way to California.
Right.
Texas. The black people left in there was not counting the 400,000 you're talking about. The 400,000 was only from Georgia all the way up to Massachusetts.
Right.
So that's the only area they bring that 400,000. But remember, they buy Louisiana, which is bigger than Louisiana today, from France when Haitian Revolution caused France to be broke.
Right.
And they also buy Florida from Spain, or they take it from Spain, whatever they do it. And they buy other place from Spain. So those black people that was there is not a part of the 400,000 they're talking about. So all those black people count. So it can be millions too in the Louisiana back then that France called Louisiana, which is big from Louisiana today all the way up to Canada. Then after that you have the Spanish part where they have black people. So all of that come together, you are one right now. you're all one USA right now. So back then, all those black people now unite and become one USA. USA black people
Right.
are black Americans.
I
So
appreciate that, brother. Yeah, y'all. Listen, the problem is slavery started in 1619. It took these niggas like 30 or 40 years, 1662, to say, fuck going out there. We're going to, because if they're getting, think about it, if they're getting a lot of slaves from Africa, they wouldn't need this 1662 Virginia Act called the baby follows the womb. Just keep going across Africa. Why create this act? White people. This is white people. This is not me. This is white people. This is not no black scholar. I didn't get this from Dr. Ivan Sertima. I didn't get this from Tariq Nasheed. I didn't get this from Dr. Claude Anderson. I got this from legal, lawful early U.S. documentation. This is why Black Americans are separate from you other groups of people. It's because we documented everything. This is why when y'all bring up DNA, we bring up genealogy. You know what I'm saying? Being able to trace back our lineage, because y'all can't do it. If you're coming from Africa, Jamaica, Haiti, they didn't keep track of documentations. We did. Everything in the U.S. and America is documented. You can't lie. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? They can't even, white people get caught up in their own traps because they documented everything. Why would you need to come up with this 1662 Act called Baby Follows the Womb if you were going to Africa 1,000 times? Why? You already getting slaves. Why? Because white men went ahead and started to impregnate everybody, and they needed more slaves where they were at. So they said, you know what? Fuck that. We want to impregnate everybody that's not white, and we're gonna make those kids slaves. And if you're a white woman and you mess around, got pregnant by me, they told that white woman you are now indentured servitude. Y'all know white people was also considered slaves at some point. Indentured servitude. That's what would happen with a white woman who got pregnant by my ass during those times. Indentured, right. Right. Anyways, indentured servants. Right, my bad. You know what I'm saying? I butcher words all the time. Anyways,
Big Arrow.
All right. So you
wait,
totally right, right?
Hold on, GS. I'm gonna let Oz talk real quick. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So you totally right. However, the thing that you read off of is kind of, you would have to know the context, because you would have to know etymology and things like that. That's like the mother of words, right? Well, what you were saying with the Africans, what I know about them, but if we're talking about the time frame you're talking about.
What time? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I went from 1600 to 1854. What are you talking about?
Yeah, good, perfect time frame. Since we're just talking about that, I'm gonna stay on that, right? The way they came in is they were bought here. You know what I'm saying? They were bought here, right?
Who?
And when the Africans.
Right. Okay.
They were bought here. They were bought here. It's not that we went over there. They were bought here. And then the blood mixed through there, and that's why you have a lineage over there now. Only that way. And that's how it happened with most different I'm not gonna include Jamaicans or Haitians in this, but different so we call them Chinese or whatever.
Wait. I'm not understanding what you just said. You just said
Okay.
we're brought from Africa to America, right?
No, we're not brought from anywhere. We've been here. We're not bought from anywhere.
So
we're
you're
home.
debunking. You say there is no 3% of anything.
No, there is a 3%, but how it happened, we were not brought over there for it to happen. They were brought over here and mixed with us and mixed into our families.
So
the natives over here.
You're saying Africans were coming to America and mixing in already.
Yeah, as well as other.
Oh yeah, well okay. No. Hold on, nigga. Hold on. No. Like I told you, that's black scholarship. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear that shit. The first person who talked about Africans coming to America was Dr. Ivan Sertima. That is, I just told you, these Africans and Caribbeans do not like black scholars. I'm talking from strictly a white standpoint right now. You're right, but you're right though. But tonight's live is about white scholars, because that's all who y'all listen to. So that black scholar who said Africans was coming over here, you're exactly right. That means we was already mixing in with Africans from a very long time. But we can't talk about that because they don't want to acknowledge that we've been separated for a very long time. So I'm speaking from strictly white scholarships. White people don't agree with that. White people don't agree with that.
I mean, of course they don't want to agree with it. They want to take your land from you.
No. I agree with you.
No, I hear you.
Yeah,
But
I
you know,
agree. I've been knew that. I knew that I came on talking about that. But
no doubt.
But the Africans, because then we're gonna get into DNA. They found DNA here millions of years ago that trace back to being a Negroid type.
All right, let me just debunk everything, right? Okay, yeah, I see what you read off of. I understand, you know what I'm saying, but I do understand the truth as well. The same way you see it's how it is now. Everybody keep coming here. It's the same way it was. That time frame. We still talk about that time frame, right?
I don't see how hard is it for anybody to understand that. But here's what they want to say. They want to say that that there could have been no blacks anywhere on the world. So they're saying that, listen, they're saying that the Native Americans, what's good, Crypto? They're saying that the Native Americans probably mixed with the Africans that came. There was no red Native American here. They're all were gone.
Okay, cool. Now let me debunk that. When you talk about the Native Americans that we seen in school, they told us, okay, these were the tribes over here. Yeah, I know how they look. These were actually, Asian Siberians.
Right.
That's where they came from. They came from the tribes of people like Genghis Khan. You know what I'm saying? They came here to.
They hold on. They came from the Siberia 15,000 years. But brother, this is black scholarship. We listen, y'all. We can't speak on black scholarship because they don't want to listen. So that's why I brought white people facts. Oh my bad. Y'all are selective with white people facts. Oh shit. Y'all are selective with y'all niggas.
Let me give you this nugget too. Right? And today you'll see more white people speaking on your behalf. Why is that? Because everybody doesn't know the US is done. And then when you talk about the US, don't say America. You're not talking about the same thing, right? US is a corporation, it's a company. And if you're a US citizen, you're an employee of that company. The same thing if Publix go down right now, what happens to the employees?
They're fired.
Right? They lose. Okay, now relate that to us. If you're a US citizen, relate that to yourself. US is done right now. Now you're gonna see everybody, especially the ites or white tees, whatever. They're gonna try to get on your side. You're gonna witness that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna throw this nugget in too. For the Africans that that told me the other day, other young lady you had on here that said, you Haitians are Africans and stuff. Look up the African Union. Haiti applied to be a part of that, and we straight up got denied. I even hated it that I found that out that they did, but Haitians hustle, so they try to get into the bread, whatever. But we got denied.
Excuse me one sec, bossy. You see, the reason why they deny Haitian is because they are a bunch of host Negroes just linking up each other and be like.
No, well, they told them straight up, you're not American. I mean, you're not African. They told them straight up, you're not African.
They told y'all Latinos. They said y'all Latinos.
Everything in the book, but you know what I'm saying? These are names.
Nobody deny Haitians of being Africans, bro. That's not a fact.
No. The African Union did. Look it up right now. Anybody can look it up right now. I'm
not. Can you put it up on the screen though?
Man, I'm an old man. Maybe you could do it, AI. Maybe you could do it.
Oh no, listen, I'm here for white conversation.
You're right. He did stand that point.
Hold on, listen. This is why I don't get it. See, I'm not here to argue niggas on nigga scholarship. Y'all don't like nigga scholarship. I used to bring up nigga scholarship. Y'all said no, so I brought up white scholarship. Y'all gotta debate me now on white scholarship.
What's that debate about, brother? Can you reiterate?
Oh God! Well, I got my teaching out the way, and I told y'all this is my last night talking about this. So,
well, I mean, everything. Okay, try to say everything I'm talking on. He was speaking on the opposite because he just tried to give you straight what he getting from the,
okay,
from the white internet.
So easy, brother. What I went ahead and did was, we done came out and have several black scholars from the 60s, 70s, express how there's been findings of African type DNA or people we consider dark or melanated in the Americas for a very long time before 1619, which when the slave trade first happened. So we had the Olmec statues or whatnot. When I bring that up, Africans disagree, and they say that the Native Americans were here first, that the red man, and then I would ask them, well, how do you know? They say, well, because they were here for the beginning of Americans. I say, well, name a time dark-skinned people or black people were not attached to America. They can't name a time. They just say, well, nigga, you come from Africa. You have. I said, okay, are you going to deny the DNA that's been found millions of years before the Asian Native American came 15,000 years ago? They're going to say, oh, no, no, no. So I said, fuck it. Y'all don't like black scholarship because all black scholarships, African scholars came out and started talking about that, and y'all said it wasn't true. So I said, fuck it. What is the problem? And I said, oh, y'all like white rhetorics. So let me go ahead and get white information that white people do, because here's what white people do. They, in the US and America, they jot everything down. Everything. That's why we have genealogy, and most of y'all don't in y'all countries. Y'all can't trace back 5 generations. Y'all don't got the paperwork. We do. We write down everything. We own history, basically. So, predicated to their history, there's been several explorers who said they came to the Americas. This is white explorers. Called everybody Negroes who was dark-skinned. Called everybody black. Christopher Columbus said black-skinned people were already here. That's what the natives who were there said, came trading. So I'm saying we had Europeans said that they came to North Carolina, which is in America, and claimed that he seen dark-skinned, agile, shifty niggas who's been here. That's what a European Spaniard said. And then let's get into the U.S. When the U.S. started the 13 colonies, they started coming out with laws saying that they need more babies, more slave babies born, because they not finna go all the way to continue to go all the way out to Africa. It's too expensive. That trip is too expensive. These Europeans didn't have money like that. They weren't big balling like how y'all think they was to create how many ships? 30,000? And then pay Africans? How much money is that? Okay, then the ships got wrecked, and then people got sick, and then you got to put food on these boats. Them Europeans were not rich like that. That's why they needed slaves. You know why they needed slaves? To grow economics, not blow. They weren't.
I got to debunk that.
I'm out the land.
Hold on. Let him finish. Let him finish, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, so they came out with the 1662, baby follows the womb, which basically means, now remember I told you, slavery started in 1619. This is now 1662. They're saying baby follows the womb, which basically means any child, this is a law, the Virginia law, any child born to an enslaved woman should automatically be enslaved regardless of father's status, even if the father was free or white. So the question is, if that's the case, if the father didn't matter, he could have been Native American, black, indigenous, white. That baby, if it's a black woman or a dark who's not a white woman, she comes out, pushes that baby out, it's a Negro. That's all the terms they had in 1662. Negro and white. There was no Native American. They were calling Indians Negroes. Those terms were synonymous with each other. Always has been. And then after that, my last point, 1854, that's 10 years before we was freed as slaves. They came before that. They came with the 1854 California landmark decision. The Supreme Court treated black person as a generic legal category covering all non-Caucasians, which means regardless if you wasn't white, they called you black. This is 1854. Mulatto, you're considered a Negro. Native American, a Negro. Okay, so they said not just people of African descent, evidence that black/Negro could be used interchangeably with other non-white status. This is 1854, before the classification of African American, before Black American. So my point is, no one can prove the separation between blacks and Native American. There was no clear separation until 1866. But white people told you who you was, who we were. We're just now going back and fact checking and now understanding this is how they went about it. That's what we're talking about today. Now,
All right.
this 3% of Africans did come from Africa because, like I said, 1619 they did bring Africans over, but they weren't bringing a whole. They weren't bringing a lot. There was only 3% to North America. They brought more. Supposedly, this is white information. This is not my one more time, brother. I didn't come up with this. This is just white American history that doesn't match up with white lies. That's all I'm saying. Now go ahead, talk. Go ahead, Isa.
All right, brother. So my thing is, listen, everything that you just stated, I'm not saying that I disagree with everything, but I disagree with some of it. Like the problem that I have is
Wait, hold on. So, my bad, brother. So tonight's panel is a little bit different. So tonight panel, I let y'all babble. I mean, before I let y'all babble and tell me your emotions, tonight's panel is called Scholarship Night. If you don't have scholarship to debunk or to add, you can't stay up here for too long. So whatever you're saying, you would need to be able to debunk what I'm saying with white evidence or any evidence. So the emotions can't be here. Because I did the research. So I'm hoping you have the research to debunk what I'm saying. Go ahead.
This one nugget. Let me put one good nugget in that, because, the word slave was being thrown around a lot in what you read, right? So that's a fallacy, and that can't be applied to people that look like you at all, right?
Right.
Why do I say that? When you look up the word slave, doing some etymology, it comes from the word Slavic.
White people, right.
Exactly. You must come from Slovenia,
Well, brother, first of all, we can't forget that white people were slaves first. They were called indentured servants. I can't say that word right. They were in indentured servitude. So they were.
Yeah.
They did come over here first as the first slaves. So they started calling everybody slaves from that point because they were when they first came.
Well, even before the time frame we're just talking about, right? Because that's all I'm talking about. Because that's what I'm saying. Even before that time, you could look in history where white women were being sold around the world. You know what I'm saying? Like before that time, when you deal with the Moors, how they kept them in the Harlems. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where that whole pimp thing come from as well, too. If you really think about it,
I'm already knowing.
you know what I'm saying? What they did with the men and how they brought them up into society to be where they are. So that's what that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that can't be applied to us at all. Slaves, it can't be applied to us.
All right, go ahead, brother. Isa, talk to me, brother. What's going on? So what do you disagree with?
So my whole argument is, do you believe that your ancestors came from Africa? That's what I want to ask you first.
Well, so that question, if you paid attention to anything I just said, I would say yes, but it'll be hard to even say who. Because like I said, only 3% came over. We was mixed in with 80-90% of whoever was here in America.
Yeah.
Only a small amount. So if you want to say, I would say some Black Americans do have African in them. Some don't. Some are Black indigenous. But that 3% doesn't outweigh the other 97% mixture that we have, which is Black indigenous, European, whoever you want to call native today. It doesn't. So it's almost like you got a 3% on a test, on a math test. Nigga, you failed. That's failure. You failed.
Right. Okay.
So if you're going to go home and tell your mama, I got a 3%, you're going to get your ass whooped. It don't matter. See what I'm saying? At that point, now if you came home and said, I got a 97% on my math test, you passed. That's what you are. You don't count 3% of anything, nigga. See what I'm saying? So hold on, brother. Hold on, David. Hold on. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying none of us came from Africa. I think a small portion did. They tried it out, but they realized how expensive that motherfucking trip was. That's why they abolished that shit in 1790. Quick and hurry. That shit did not last long.
Okay. Would you say that it's more African American that got African ancestry than native blood in them. Would you agree with that statement if I say that?
Well, I just told you, no, we don't.
But
Okay, what? Okay, hold on. My question. See, your problem is you're listening to terminologies that are confusing you because you think things are what they were now, that they were then, and nothing on this planet has ever been the same. So, like I just told you, we've been mixing here. So whoever you see as a Native American, they got mixture in them too. That's not the original person who's here.
no,
Plus,
my thing is I'm not saying that there wasn't black native in America. But
okay.
what I'm saying is that the black native in America weren't Africans though. Like I agree on that. Like it was black native over here who ain't got no connections to Africa, like being brought over here by white folks. I believe it was black native in America over here. I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that 100%. And not only in Native America, even if you go to Asia, it's black folk. You know, black folks been all around the world before Christopher Columbus, and Columbus even wrote about that in his books. You know, saying that
So what's your question then?
so, but the black folks that we have right now in America, right now, these are descendants of African slaves that were brought in over here. Not that,
See,
not that.
so wait, hold on. You, God damn, nigga. How? First, tell me how.
Okay, okay, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm about to explain. Like, if you take a DNA test
No,
right
no,
now,
no, 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 no. Don't do the DNA. The DNA test has already been proven to not tell you exactly where you're from. They said entertainment purposes only. Like I said, this is a scholar panel. So come with dates, receipts, documentations. I came with you with documentations.
okay. Now I can almost cold-heartedly say that if any African American that can track down their family lineage, right, in any way that you can, whether it's by documents or by DNA or whatever way that you can document it, I
Yep.
promise you it will direct you straight to the motherland.
So, brother, I'm gonna say this. You're talking to the wrong panel because I'm the motherfucking person who does the genealogy that you're talking about. I'm the nigga who promotes the genealogy. I got the project out for people to trace back. I did it. You can't tell me about me. Is my point. Anyway, hey y'all, I got the Golden Lineage project I'm about to launch. See what I'm saying? Like I've been telling y'all for like 2-3 weeks now. I need a head count of who's interested. I went ahead and traced back my lineage. My lineage does not trace back to no damn Africa. You know what I'm saying? It traces from, hold on, David. It traces from Florida, Arkansas, South Carolina, to a plantation called the Young's Plantation, right next door to a native, to a Cherokee tribe. Right. So you connected to freedmen. So you can't, there's no African nowhere in my genealogy, sir. So you can't tell me about me. Right. So next, that point was proof, people. So brother, anything else? I don't know what to tell you. The difference between us and y'all is we did the work already. Y'all coming up with emotions. We did the work. The thing is, we're not a third world country like y'all. We could trace shit back.
I got that proof for you.
Hold on. We could trace shit back, brother. That's the issue. Anyways, let's get to some more people. Appreciate you, Isa, for trying at least. True Master, talk to me, brother.
Brother, yo, you got my favorite live on here, bro. Live is the livest live, you heard? And you know it's sad when brothers like Issa get up here, man, because when I was growing up, I'm an OG, man. I don't know if I'm a full OG. I'm 56 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I was coming up, you know, we supported Africa. You know what I'm saying? Anything we could do for them. But we always, this ain't nothing new with us saying we indigenous. We always knew our family. This is deeply rooted in our history here. They don't understand that.
So what they don't know is our families never talked about Africa.
Never.
when we say Black Power or salute to Africa, that's like a mainstream media cool like camaraderie thing. But
And bruh, they fucking that up. So now you don't even got us fucking with you no more.
exactly.
Now you done played yourself, and now that you see who we are, you refuse to accept it. So if we gotta go, yo, I can't even rock with you, homie. You got to walk your walk on your own. And now, like you said, even they don't want to respect black scholarship because we could go back into Frederick Douglass and all them.
I didn't bring up no black scholar.
No, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to white scholars real quick. Let me add on and do what your live is about. We're gonna add on some white scholarship.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about the oldest civilizations in America. When we talk about the Olmecs, right? We know that the Olmecs is the same people who would later be called the Mayans. They have the most accurate clock in the world. All that shit is based off of them. But when they did the research, and this is white scholarly research, on the bones of the Olmecs, what did they find? They found a high rate of sickle cell anemia that's only present in black people. Okay? These are the indigenous people. Okay? Now also, let's go further. When you see the Mayans in South America and all they did down there, right? That's the islands. This is the mainland. That's why, guess what they found not too long ago? They found the royal cartouches of the Mayans in Georgia. And it made them say, wait a minute. You mean to tell me the Mayans was, the real royal families was up here and they was doing their thing down there? Of course that's what it was. Go look it up. White scholarship.
White scholarship. And
white scholarship. Now you don't gotta
white scholarship night. This is
you
white
don't gotta accept it because if you don't want to accept it, where my family is from Georgia, my uncle looked identical to one of them Olmec statues, the one with the man with where he's laying down. I mean, it looks so much like my uncle. I'd be like, this is crazy. But my family on both sides, my mother and my father's side, here in America, be telling me about our indigenous history here. Now, if y'all can't accept that, that's why I'm finally done. I don't fuck with nothing.
Hey, brother, and here's the thing. Real quick, before we started this indigenous and saying, because we've been saying it, don't every black American say, I got some Indian in me somewhere. We all said that. And we all made fun of each other. Nah, nigga, no, you don't. You ain't got no, look at your hair. We did the same thing they were doing. But
here's the jewel,
as we got older,
and now, like you said, what the government got, they got the freedmen list, right? And why is it that everybody that go looking, they find their family on there? Now, when you find your family on there, the government has demanded, well, original people took the government and the Indian tribes to the federal courts and said they're refusing to acknowledge these lists because they took over our tribes, right? So now when they won, eventually they had to just recently start allowing all the black people in. Now we don't even got to ask for reparations. So y'all all this stuff with reparation, soon as you get recognized, they're going to give your kids free education, free health care. They're going to give you subsidies every year. And all these Africans that's hating going to be looking crazy. And we're going to be like, I'm not fucking with you now.
And look, bro, we already have people who got into the tribes already. We have
all day, every day it's happening. It's so now, to y'all people who want to insist, go read the Indian treaties of the Cherokee, the Chickasaw. You'll see that the government said in the treaties, there's no distinction between black and Indian. Okay? It's in every one of them treaties. Why you think also, white scholarship, Indians was called niggas. Look it up. Indians was called niggas just like black people, because like you said, before all this stuff, it was just Negroes, niggas, it's all the same thing. So we adding on with some white scholarship, Lord.
Hey, brother, appreciate that too, Master. Listen, y'all, this is white scholarship night. I try to give y'all black scholarship. Y'all didn't like it. So I came here with white people's knowledge, because y'all love white people. So bring me your best white people knowledge that debunks this white people's knowledge. Go ahead, David. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah.
First of all, where you from?
I'm from New York.
Okay. Ethnicity wise, what are you?
Oh, I'm black. Yeah. I'm from Georgia.
Your both parents are Black American?
Mm-hmm.
All right, talk to me, brother.
Yeah. I think a lot of what you were saying earlier and about how the reclassification of Black people who were originally Native peoples is kind of just like it's a kind of a bit of a misunderstanding of Native history specifically. And I also think that first of all, there is a long history of mixing and collaboration between Black and Native people, but I don't think that is to deny that our heritage to the African continent. And I'll say this. The history of Native people from the second white settlers landed in North America has been expulsion and removal. And it's within that context that these reclassifications of like Black people are happening. So you have like, instances like the American Revolution, which saw a lot of conflicts between Native
Wait,
tribes.
hold on. First of all, brother,
Yeah.
your white scholarship is starting too late. My white scholarship started in the 1500s. You got to start
Yeah.
there, brother.
Okay, we can start there. So the second, like, we can go as far back as like Roanoke or the Jamestown colony, as far as like white contact with indigenous peoples, and from that moment,
Okay.
indigenous people are being swamped by disease and conflict outright, and so these
Okay.
people are dying in the hundreds of thousands and the millions. There's mass famine
Okay.
and genocide, and
All
from
right.
that point on.
I get that. I know that. Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much what I'm saying is that at every single juncture leading up to what you're saying, which is with the reclassification of people in the state of Virginia, there is the removal of Native people. So by the time, like you said, in
What
1850,
year was that?
this was from pretty much from 1492, from the second European settlers landed on northern
To try to remove. Okay. Yes, I agree. You're correct. Keep going.
indigenous people are being expelled.
You're doing good right now, brother. Keep
they're
going.
being pushed west, right? So around the time that the reclassification is happening in 1853, there are little to no indigenous people on the east coast of America.
Okay.
And so at that point, when the classifications of race are aligned as only Black and white, it's because essentially, for all intents and purposes, there are only Black and white people in the state of Virginia. And that is the case all up and down the East Coast, because by this point in American history, most Native tribes have been pushed as far west as Oklahoma.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this real quick, because you're not wrong. You're absolutely right. Now, the only part that you're getting confused on is you're giving these people their own identity as if they're separate from us, but you haven't proven that they were separate. So could it be true that, hold on, could it be true that white people came here and started beefing with the indigenous? That's exactly what happened. Yes.
Also, brother, if I may quickly add.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Save it though, True Master, save it. But you haven't distinguished who was who. Second, you're right. The numbers did go down when white Americans started to come over here. That's when we're in Virginia right now. Now we're in 1619. I'm bringing you to 1662. This is when, you go look this up. This exactly goes in with what you're saying. This is when the 1692 Baby Follows the Womb Act, Virginia Act comes in. This is Partus Sanquarius Vertorum in 1662, Virginia, which states any child born enslaved woman would automatically be enslaved regardless of father's status, free or white. So what they're saying is, yo, hold on, I'm about to land. What they said was, yo, we fucked up. We came here and we started wiping out the indigenous here. Now our numbers are low and we can't afford to keep going to Africa. We got a couple Africans here. You know what I'm saying? So fuck it. Everybody who has a baby that's not white, your ass is considered a Negro. Because there's only two terms, brother. Indigenous is not a term. So let's get that fact. You're calling them indigenous, but it's not a term back then. So is Native American. It's only Negro and white. And then by 1854, they went ahead and said, nigga, if your ass is not white, period, you're a nigga. This is written law. So you have to first prove to me they weren't Negroes. Go ahead.
So I would first contend with the fact that there was no distinction between Negroes and Native Americans. I think there absolutely was. They referred to them mostly as like savages or other terms that distinguish how they perceive their people. But they did absolutely distinguish them as a separate race from Negroes and Africans.
What proof is that? Oh, okay, hold on. That's a lie. Not saying you're doing a bad job. You're doing better than I thought you would, but I got to catch you when you lie. I'm going to read to you again the 1854 California Supreme Court ruling. In a landslide decision, California Supreme Court treated black person as a generic legal category covering all non-Caucasians, not just people of African descent. One more time. California Supreme Court treated black person as a generic legal category covering all non-Caucasians, not just people of African descent.
Let me clarify.
Hold on.
Real quick, please. Just let me clarify.
Because you lied. You lied real quick. I got to check you. And
we're having a discussion.
Evidence that black/Negro could be used interchangeably with other non-white status. So, brother, there was no distinction. You just lied.
This is how, I think we're jumping around with statutes, I think, to try to prove a point that isn't really there. So when we're talking about like the California census, by the time California is established as a republic, all Indians, which is the official classification of the U.S. government by this time, are sequestered into reservations. And so, like, there are...
No. That was 1866. That was the 1866 U.S. Treaty with Native Americans. That they were giving them...
The Indian Removal Act had happened before then, and they had sequestered Native Americans into these reservation zones. What they were called, what they referred to as...
I might be wrong about that, because that's not even a big argument. Give me the year of it.
The Indian Removal Act? That was 1830-ish to like 1840-ish. That was,
okay. So you use something that predates the 1854, which kind of still doesn't proclaim what you're saying, because they were already using the term Negro for everybody. So there was no clarification. Indian was interchangeable with Negro in 1492, sir. Negro is written. Negro is written in documentations already. So who are we talking about?
I mean, like, I think it's like a bit pedantic to claim that like they were interchangeable. I think that like there wasn't a single white colonial settler from the moment that they landed in North and South America that would have considered African Negroes and American Indians.
Hold on. This is a scholar panel. There is no I think. I haven't said I think once. I don't think. I'm going off of what they wrote, right? So when Christopher Columbus landed and sent his reports back to Spain, he was referring to the Taino people as a specifically separate people. And actually, in the way that the European construct of race was understood, he conceived their nature to be fundamentally different. And this is how he conceived of all people. Like he wrote about them being fundamentally submissive. All right, okay. You don't like Christopher Columbus? Fine. I got 4 other Europeans who said something better. I don't like Christopher ass neither. His was the weakest point of his journal. There's somebody who has a stronger point. Giovanni Verrazzano, whatever you want to say, 1524, an Italian explorer, described the native inhabitants of the Carolina coast, current day NC, black in color, not unlike Ethiopians, with thick black hair tied, appeared well proportioned, of medium height, a bit taller than Europeans, with a broad chest, strong arms, well-formed legs, agile, and swift. This is Giovanni da Verrazzano, Verrazzano, 1524, Italian explorer.
Yeah. So yeah, I think like you
don't like him neither? You want somebody else?
No. I'm saying like the individual. So I think we can corroborate these individual accounts of Europeans as they were interacting with native to sort of come to the conclusion that
we're not coming to the conclusion of shit. It's you have to debunk with facts with what I said.
Like you can keep pulling out random explorers who are describing what they're seeing.
This is American history. This is not random.
You brought up
this is a part of history.
Point. You brought up
what the fuck? These are explorers.
Yeah, so I brought up the explorer who discovered America and his account of the people who he encountered, and you just brought up another explorer. So the point is that
was there only one explorer who came? Christopher Columbus came in 1492. There's niggas who
Just let
came
me
right
finish
behind him.
my point, brother. You gotta let me land. Like the way that you've been landing and muting me to land, you gotta let me land. So the different accounts of European explorers and their experience with native and their experience
They all
with
had
being
black
native
attached to it, brother.
can help us understand that yes, native people do have varying skin colors. Yes, they can be quite dark, especially in the Caribbean where European explorers were first interacting with them, and in South America where their skin color was adapted to the climates. That does not mean that Europeans saw them as the same people as African Negroes. And there are all sorts of accounts throughout history
But
that
hold
shows this
on,
not to be the case.
Okay, brother, I gotta stop you when you're talking from emotions and no facts. Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. If you're going to say that we can't assume that they were not comparing them to Africans in Africa, then you can't say that they weren't comparing them to Africans to Africa if you have no proof. If they're calling them Negroes. So the same thing you're saying goes against you too. You need an explorer that says, these are not like, this is what you need. You need a journal and you need a law in the US that says, these are not like any other blacks in the whole entire world, especially Ethiopia or Africa. You need that source. You can't say we can conclude. You can't say, well, we can't say.
The source, bro. And you just brought up another explorer. So
Who did you give up? Who did you give?
Christopher Columbus.
What did it say? What did you say?
He described the Taino people of Cuba, which is the island he landed, as a fundamentally different people from the other races, as from Africans and from Europeans, as a people who were like by nature submissive and easy to enslave. And he wrote about them in this manner and sent it back to Spain. And yes, he was a deeply racist individual, but it was this racism that informed his perception of people. And he thought that the indigenous people of America and African people were different.
Okay.
That was what I was expecting.
Wait, True Mass. Go ahead, True Mass, because go ahead. You want to say something? I'm about to say something. Go ahead, True Mass.
Let me get him. First of all, you was wrong when you came up here and said both of your planets is black American. You ain't American. Just the way you talk.
You don't know me. You don't know me, bro. You don't know me, bro. I know you.
No, hold on. We're not doing this tonight. We're gonna keep it.
Look at me like that, bro, because I don't know you. You don't know.
Wait. Hold on. We're not doing that tonight, David. You're doing good, David. I think you might be the best one. You're still sloppy a little bit, but you're trying. Go ahead, True Master. Unmute yourself, True Master. God damn, True Master, you was over here.
The people Columbus spoke to, right? They said themselves, they had spears. They said, yo, where you get this from, right? He said, these is big black people, right? Now, you going to leave that out? Now, it is true. Listen, you can look that up, bro. If you never heard that, then you
looked it up, bro. You can't just give me a contradictory source. Like, you're wrong, bro. You've been talking out your ass this whole time. You're not a credible source. Not a credible source.
What I was about to do was salute you a little bit.
Yeah, no, you wasn't,
they said,
bro.
hold up, let me finish.
Wait, David.
Gee, bro.
Wait.
First of all, the only part that you should know and you should run with it is that when they looked at the spears, they said, these look like the spears that we seen in Africa, right? So if you really study, you'd be arguing that point that the spears, they sent them, this is how deep that part was. They took the spears to Europe and tested them against the spears they have from Africa. They found the same gold and nickel ratio. So they said these people was doing trade in Africa, right? Now, bro, all I'm trying to tell you is you lack scholarship, and you obviously not really.
Wait, David. Wait.
You really not a black American, because if you was, it would have definitely been your family in North America. They told you who you was, and you'd be going against them. And if you're going against them, you can't be one of us. Now I'm gonna tell you like this: there was always black people in America.
Where I come from to prove your point.
You're taking it too far to the left. Let me handle them real quick. All right, David. You're being selective with what you want to believe, which is fine. You don't like Christopher Columbus, but you didn't acknowledge that I had 5 other groups of explorers who said something deeper than Christopher. I don't like Christopher Columbus. His point. Hold on.
That was my citation, though.
Hold on. What I'm saying is Christopher Columbus was the weakest evidence that I provided. That wasn't my strongest. That's why I started with him first, because I knew someone like you would come up and say, well, they said that he was native. So I said, okay, well, I got 4 other explorers who came right behind his ass. And they landed in what we call North America, U.S., in Florida, in North Carolina, and they telling you, describing you what they're seeing. And I'm telling you, the word Negro was interchangeable with them. And you're telling me, no, it wasn't. But you can't debunk all of these scholars. You just debunking Christopher Columbus, and he's halfway to the left, halfway to the right. So anyway,
what I'm trying to explain to you is that none of these men are scholars. They're racist European explorers, and it's the context. No, but listen, man, it's the context.
No, David,
You have to let me land.
no, David. This is my problem with you. Hold on,
That's my
David,
problem with
for
you.
the panel. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn who's racist. That's not the point. The point is this is what has been documented. I gave y'all black scholarship. Y'all didn't want it.
Bro, you gotta let me speak, bro.
Y'all give y'all white scholarship. Y'all calling them racist. So what scholarship y'all want to believe?
I'm trying to articulate to you the scholarship that is taken from the accounts of all these people. First of all, whatever true dude was the true master, that shit literally is made up. That's why I cannot engage with him, because I can't engage with ahistorical nonsense. Like this, like I just can't do it.
Now you're trying to pick a fight. I'm
not trying to pick a fight. I'm just saying I can't debate crazy. But moving on, what the entire overarching point I'm trying to make is that the perspectives of all these European explorers, their individual perspectives, begin to form what Europeans coming to America think of as Indians and what they think of as Negroes. And by the time 1500, 1600 pass, the American colonies are established, and these relations between people are firm. They are fundamentally different. They are not considered the same people, not by Europeans and not by one another.
All right, brother. That way you didn't give no dates, no time, so I'm gonna have to drop you for now. But stay in the chat. Someone wants to get at you. Yeah, listen, y'all. He's stating things without facts. You have to be a dog. Listen, we're dogs. Like, this ain't no play, say whatever emotional like every other panel where you getting your feelings about information. We're dogs. Educational dog. Like, you gotta come with your shit ready. If your shit not put together, you're gonna get ate up. So just say, hold on, brother. So just saying they're racist, that don't cut it on this panel. I could have said they was racist. I know they're racist. What does them calling them Negroes have to be with racist? You can't. Well, they thought everybody was a Negro. Not everybody's a Negro. Then prove that it's your word versus theirs. The niggas who arrived there versus the nigga who's hurt. So it's kind of like, what are we doing here? Anyways, next. Unbelievable truth. My dog, talk to me, fam. What's good?
What going on with you, man?
What it is, brother? You know, zooling and cooling. What it ain't?
Man, just, just up here trying to listen to these folks spread these lies, man. This misinformation. And what's crazy is the fact that, they sit here and try to just keep throwing this African shit on us, man. Like, that's crazy. Like, y'all don't know who y'all is. Y'all African. Like, it wouldn't even make sense. Like we continue to tell them, it would make sense to continuously make that journey back and forth with that many people. Y'all not gonna have that many people on each trip.
Right.
Like, so it's obvious that the people who was already here inhabiting the land were the people who were mainly enslaved.
Right. Yeah. Hey, brother, appreciate that. Next, genetic Chief Zan, what it is, brother? Talk to me. Genetic, talk to me, brother. Your mic muted.
Yo, what's good with it, bro?
Talk to me, fam. What's good?
Bro, I'm finna go ahead and debunk little bro what he said, bro. Cause bro not making no sense. He talking with his emotions, bro. So the dude, Christopher Columbus, like no one liked this man, you know what I mean? But it's a dude who was with him, his navigator, that was of black color. His name was like Nino or something like that.
He had a Moor on board with him, right?
Yeah. It goes that he hid in with the native people. He was black. His name was El Negro. That means the black person. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the only how he could blend in with the native people and speak their language where they can't find him was for the natives to be black, or
Wait,
the indigenous people
bro.
to
Wait,
be black.
hold on, brother. I want to correct you just a little bit. I think your timeline is a little bit off. I do believe I'm gonna put you on mute real quick.
Yeah,
I do believe that there was a more traveling with Christopher Columbus, but the person I think you're speaking of is another person that came later in 1619. He was a Moor from Europe. He was a European Moor that came with the first boat to Virginia, to I think Georgia or Virginia, and that boat, that slave boat, which was the first slave boat, had indentured servitude. Esteban, yeah, had indentured servitude. So white people, they had Arabs, and they had this, I guess, African-looking nigga who was a Moor from Spain. Remember, the Moors conquered Spain for about 700 years. So that's who you talking about. That was the first revolution. No, it was 1526. 1526 was the first revolt Black Americans had. So he came off the boat, started revolting, ran into the woods, and they claimed that he blended in with the black natives or the Native Americans. That's your point. I had to clear that up with the panel, but I knew what you was talking about. Go ahead.
fact. So, and bro saying I'm African, bro. First of all, I did my genealogy all the way back, bro. You know what I mean? Roots run deep over here, bro. I'm Contawaba, indigenous tribe, straight from Virginia. You know what I mean? The Cahoon Creek, actually. You know what I mean? So we run deep over here. You feel what I'm saying? But bro, not talking about no knowledge, man. Along as what we've been seeing from everything that's been going on in the archives, and people have been spreading the knowledge, bro. We've proven that multiple times, who we are. We the original people of America. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So, bro, I feel like he really like undercover. You feel what I'm saying, bro?
Nah,
He
he'll get
really,
tethered. He'll tether. He'll hurt tether. He from Africa.
but that's all I
Appreciate
want to
that,
say, bro.
brother. Just Walker one. Talk to me.
Yeah, brother. I just wanted to touch up on what David has said, because he said something about us being, the African Americans, and that's what they described us as African. But if you can't call us African Americans if African American term wasn't even thought of until the 1700s. So how are you claiming that we're African? When they talk about black people, they're just talking about black people.
Right.
When they talk about African black, they said African. They're not like the Africans over in Africa,
Well, look. Here's
but
the
they're black.
terminology that they use. One of the early explorers, like I mentioned, used the terminology. He said just like Ethiopians, skin just like the Ethiopians.
Right,
So
skin
they
like the
know what Africa
Ethiopians.
is. They know it. So
They
they know
know
the areas.
exactly. So how you going to say that? No, he was talking about African American. No, he wasn't, because African American term wasn't even used. So don't sit up here and try to flip the narrative.
Right.
That's all I had to say. I was like, oh my God, this dude need to go
No,
home.
he knew he lost a long time ago. He lost a long time ago. So he kept trying to find different things to hop on and attach to, but it wasn't leading to the term it wasn't leading to anything.
No, it wasn't.
But anyways, appreciate that, brother.
Nope.
Thank you. Next we have Just Men Sharam. Just Men Sharam.
Just Nashima. You can call me Nashima.
Nashima, talk to me.
I just wanted to say this. So-called African American people, think of this, right? I was born in the 70s. My father was born in 1939. He's the 15th child, okay, the last. My grandmother was born in the late 1900s. Okay, so if you look at the timeline like that, America is not that old. My father's buried at in South Carolina. I can show you evidence of grave sites that dates back to the late 1600s. So when people tell y'all, they're not from Africa, please believe them. They're not stupid or dumb or just hopping on some type of TikTok trend. We just roll with the punches. Y'all want to call us Negro? Okay, I'll check the Negro box. Oh, I'm black now. Okay, I'll check the black box.
It didn't matter back then. It really didn't matter.
Yeah, that too. But it's not that we're beefing with them. It's they came for our reparations, and we woke up, and a lot of people started to trace back their heritage and do their genealogy and found out who they were. So I thank you, Africans, for actually trying to hop on our reparations and doing that so we can find out who we are. But don't get mad at us when we say we're not African, because y'all don't get mad at no other group of people when they don't say they African or they don't pay y'all no mind. Because
Right.
there's black indigenous people everywhere, and I land my plane with that. Thank you for allowing me.
That was a great point you said, because there's hundreds of other people Africans can claim that's right next door to them. The Middle East, Arabs, Greece, Spain. Y'all can claim Egypt that thinks they're separate. You know what I'm saying? There's so many other people that y'all can claim, but y'all claiming people from across the Atlantic Ocean, and you can't even prove a lot of them came from across the Atlantic Ocean. Claim them other motherfuckers. All right, go ahead. Receipt goddess, talk to me, man.
Peace. I've been on your panel before. If you want to let the other two go.
Oh no. Go ahead. Talk to me.
No, I'm just waiting on my food real quick. If you don't
Oh,
mind.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I got you. Max Black, talk to me, brother. Max Black. Max.
Yo.
What it is, brother?
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I wanted to add to it too, right, from what I'm hearing, right, a lot of people don't point out like the Fiji Islands and other places where you got other people that look like us, but they indigenous to there or they native to there. And
Right.
it's like they act like we can't look the same and be from here. So it's common sense. You go all the way to Australia, look at the Aborigines.
The
They say
Melanesians,
they're
or what
from
we
there.
call
So
them.
why you don't have common sense to say, okay, well, damn, black people's all over the place. Why is it that America, they want them to be the only ones that say they from Africa? Because you want this land. It's common sense. Anybody got common sense, will understand that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
No,
also,
you're absolutely right. So that's why we're doing this to teach our own, to stop claiming these other groups of people, because we're not the same. We haven't been the same. Even if you have a little bit of African DNA, ethnogenesis happening, you're mixed with 97% of something else. We're culturally not the same. There's nothing that's keeping us together for real, other than us calling ourselves African American. So we're killing that, and we're on our own journey now. And
and
we
and,
don't
and
want to be
also
involved with them no more.
and also people don't understand that our DNA is in our voice. When you speak to a black person over the phone or a black American, you're speaking to your people. You could be anywhere in the world. You be like, it's like your brother, your sister, they have the same voice as you. You seen people in families, the brother and sister got the same voice, or the brother, you black Americans got the same voice. You know when you're speaking to a black American over the
All right,
phone.
we know we speak to a damn tether when they even when they talk, proper English, you can hear the bitch ass in their voice, like
Yeah, you hear the shit. Like I
you
could hear
hear the
you
bitch
hear me.
ass in their voice, like the little nigga, no, like nigga, you know how many Africans done came on here to tell them, man, talk straight, nigga, talk
Yeah,
straight, talk with
that's a
baby
fact.
voice. Why you talk like that?
That's a fact. And their gestures and they walk is different. Their body language is different. They don't got the swag. They don't got that movement. And you could see it from a mile away. If you go to
Right.
another country, they know you American. Like I went to other countries, they already they walk right up to me and say, "Yo, oh, you a black American." They already
And
know. You
what
can't
is the
hide that shit.
benefit of swag? What
But
does
anyways,
swag
Max
does?
Black, appreciate it. Let me
What
let
is the benefit
Spencer
of it?
get up here and talk. Spence, what's your name and where you from? Unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'm Spencer. I'm from Ghana.
Duh. All right, brother, talk to us. What's going on?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys want to
Wait, hold on, Spence.
just.
I'm gonna say this one time before I let you speak. This is an educational platform. The minute you say something emotional, I'm gonna have to drop you. Tonight's not the regular night like how I usually have, and I let you babble and say your concerns. If you can't debunk anything, you gotta go. So let's go.
All right, so I've been listening to you, and whatever that you guys are discussing makes you guys sound very dumb to the outside world. It's like obvious.
That's one strike. That's emotional. You need to provide
What's
facts.
emotional about this? I'm using
No.
English
No.
language. There's
That's
nothing
about to be.
emotional
You're
about
about
it.
to be on number 2 strike. Debunk what we said. Give me a date. Start there.
Are saying that African Americans are natives of the American land. Obviously, we know who are the natives,
Who
right?
are they?
We know. So those
Who? No,
natives
no,
there,
tell me. Who are they?
can you allow me to talk, please? Those who were natives there, these West Indians or whatever they call them, whatever name they have given to them, they know their settlement. They know where they were before the
Nigga, you do not know who you talking about. They're not West Indians. God damn.
before these Europeans came there, tried to fight them, fight their culture, and take the land from them. They know who they were. They know the kind of settlement they were having. So if Africans were there already, where
He gone, nigga. Like, nigga,
Africans would
these
have
Africans, like,
this.
bro, they're not smart. And I'm trying. Well, I thought these niggas was scholars. I thought they was coming to America getting all the degrees and shit. Like, bro, show me how smart y'all is. Now I know why y'all country upside down. Now I know. See what I'm saying? Before I was a little bit like, maybe it's white supremacy. It's not. Listen, white supremacy is not. We're not gonna get it. I'm gonna say this one time. We're not giving white supremacy the right of why Africa is the way Africa is. Africa is now the way it is because these people are not smart. That's it now. We're no longer giving them an excuse. Before we used to say everybody gets a bypass, everybody's going through white supremacy. No. Y'all niggas stupid. That's it. Y'all
May I
not.
say one thing real quick, brother?
Go ahead.
Now, when we dealing with scholarship, real quick, you know, back in 2010, they discovered that the black man in America had a DNA so old that they had never found nowhere in Africa, right? And they named it after Albert Perry. It's the AOO haplogroup.
Mm-hmm.
When they found it, they immediately started looking in Africa to see if they could find anybody in Africa, right? And they found in Cameroon, right, some Africans that had it, but they knew that it was because they shared an ancestor of the black man. So they named it AOO2 and said this one, these people, from people that migrated over there,
Mm-hmm.
had a common ancestor with us, but they acknowledge that there is no African that has that exact same AOO over there. That DNA is so old that it's almost 300,000 years older than Lucy, which the Outer Africa theory was based upon.
God damn.
Now,
Hey, brother,
also,
listen. You're talking about nigga scholarship right now. That's nigga scholarship because white people gonna try to debunk that. You got black scholars who proved it. The white scholars say no, it didn't. We are doing white scholarship, but ours great nigga scholarship because I support nigga scholarship. God damn it, I think niggas telling the truth. I don't know why y'all don't like nigga scholarship. Y'all don't like Dr. Ivan Sertima. Y'all don't like the other guy y'all don't like Dr. Claude Anderson, Tariq Nasheed. Y'all don't like black scholarship. Y'all like white.
Fuller.
Y'all like white tea scholarship. Okay, fine. I'm giving it to you. So that's why tonight is white scholarship panel. Since y'all love they niggas, they don't know nothing. Okay, white people. Debunk white people. Anyways, next we have Mr. Exclusive.
How you doing, brother?
What's going
All
on,
is
brother?
well.
Talk to me.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, but I represent the Haitian people because that's where my people are from.
Okay.
So my question is to you, because Haiti, we have a strong history of togetherness, and I get from this here that I guess your goal is to kind of keep your people separate from everyone else. That's what it seems like. Like you want to separate the Black Americans from every other black
Well,
culture.
what's going on is we're honing in on ourselves right now. We spent a long time bringing everybody in and catering to everybody. We've been doing that we've done that better than all y'all. You know what I'm saying? But now we're like, you know what? I think it's time for us to go in and hone in on ourselves. It's time to be selfish now. So we're being selfish, like how everybody else is selfish. That's it.
Well, let me ask you this. How can you promote unity when you're practicing separatism at the same time?
Well, easy. That's a great question. I love that because it gets into what we're talking about, which is group economics. What I've noticed, especially being from Miami, which I'm surrounded by a lot of Haitians, descents, and Cubans, what I noticed in this demographic, Every culture, every race looks out for themselves. They practice group economics. Mr. Dr. Claude Anderson, a black scholar, I'm sorry to bring him up, but I know y'all niggas hate black scholars. He brought up this in the early 70s, stating how if black Americans do not start practicing group economics, we're going to be last behind all these immigrants because they're going to come in here and they're going to practice group economics amongst each other. They're not here to be our friends. They're not here to help. They're here to benefit. Right. And he said by 2012, we will be the minority. Now we're in 2025. So black Americans, we missed that boat. It's over already. See what I'm saying? He predicted that shit in 2012. If you look at the state of Miami, Miami's no longer just black and white. It's now black, a whole bunch of Haitians, a whole bunch of Cubans, and our black communities are going down. Matter of fact, black people can't even walk around downtown no more because the Cubans took it over. Haitians, they came over, they ain't built nothing. They haven't built anything or contributed. Okay, if you go over, hold my day, brother. If you go along the United States, I'm pretty sure it's like that in New York City. It's like that in California. So immigrants coming to the country, black immigrants, whatever immigrants, have not helped. Our economy in the black community has gone down. The white community, though, has gone up economically. So what I'm saying is when I look around, I say, whoa, fuck that. I want to compete too. So, hey, who thinks like me? You think like me? You think? All right, we together then. Let's go. Let's ride. So I'm practicing group economics amongst people who think like me, who's FBAs. That's it.
Okay, so I see. So my question next is, if as long as black people being the indigenous and the true owners of this land as of right now, if from the time that you guys got here, you had invaders come in and pretty much take over your land, what makes you think that now will be the time to group and make something happen if you guys weren't able to do it from the time that the invaders came in? And even now, it seems like now there's a problem against immigrants coming in and doing what you guys should have been doing, should have had together. I mean, it doesn't make sense for you guys to have a problem with it.
You're right. That's a great point, brother. It's our mistake. I don't like our elders for what they did. I don't like Malcolm X, and I love Malcolm X and I love Martin Luther King, but I don't like how they marched for y'all to come here. I don't like it. I don't like how we fought for the Immigration Act. I think it was a huge mistake. But let me put myself in their shoes before I say that. The reason why they're more open to y'all is because the number was low. There wasn't a lot of y'all here to undermine us, and white supremacy wasn't using you as a tool back then because there wasn't a lot of you. But then white supremacy went ahead and figured out a trick, like how they always do, to turn things around into their favor. They say, damn, these niggas vouching for these other niggas? All right, here's what we're going to do. Hey, other blacks, this is the land of opportunity, honey and milk. We know y'all asses poor. Come over here. We'll give you a green card if you denounce your citizenship. Put your flag down and say that you're not a part of that group anymore. Work for cheap change. Do not align yourself with black ideology here. Don't do it. Nigga, if you do it, I'm going to kick your ass out. You will get deported. So that first wave of immigrants were like, I ain't gonna get deported for nobody. We just swam here. Fuck that. So y'all came over here as economic refugees looking after yourself. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King couldn't have seen this coming until now. I'm pretty sure if Malcolm X would walk through Miami, through Little Haiti, through Little Havana, he'll be like, hell no. And he's half Caribbean. He will still say, man, these niggas gotta go. Get them out of here. Fuck no. They're unproductive to our fight. But go ahead.
Okay. Question. So you mentioned that when the white tea invited the immigrants in, part of the deal was, okay, as long as you stay separate from the black Americans here, you don't conform to their ideology, we'll accept you into our country.
It's an unspoken agreement.
I get it. Right, I get what you're saying. My question is was that a bad idea or a good idea? Because in the end, if we were to conform to the black ideology, would we be winning? Because at the time, you guys we're not winning and still are not winning. So
Well,
if
hold on, sir. That sounded like too much emotion for me right there. So I gotta fact check you. First of all, let's clear that we were not winning in a land that you had to come to, that we built to fight for you to come so you could start winning. So first of all, we're the richest blacks in the whole entire world. Let's make that a fact right now. We're doing better than Haitians, way better than them. Goddamn. I don't want to bring y'all up. Better than Jamaicans, the Chinese, they don't even own a beach. The Africans, them niggas, they don't even have dogs. They have hyenas watching they huts. So, sir, we got garages. We have houses. Nigga, we have yards. Nigga, black Americans done built a lot of infrastructures. We have black Wall Streets. We have universities. So even despite all the oppression we went through, we stuck it out and still were able to have things to even tell y'all to come here. We created communities for y'all to even to come into. If we didn't have the communities we had, y'all wouldn't be here. We can't go to y'all community. I don't want to go to Haiti. No.
okay,
I don't want to
so
go there. Hold on. I don't want to go to Haiti. I don't want to go to Africa. I don't want to go nowhere. Them niggas say, come on, you want to be a passport, bro? I ain't going a goddamn place. Fuck them. Hell no. So when you say things like they took over our land and stuff like that, you use little slick shit like that, that just shows you don't understand the fight. We're the only groups of blacks that haven't been defeated. We're still here. We're not fleeing. We're still in an economic race. We still have black billionaires. We're still competing. White people didn't take over. We have soft power here, meaning we have influence. Without us, this wheel does not turn. We're a major part of society. But they need y'all to think like that so you could think that they have the money. Now, my last point.
can I get some input real quick?
Hold on, my last point, I'm gonna land. I don't blame y'all for coming here and siding with white supremacy. Great, because you need it. You need help, nigga. You come from a failed country and island. You need it. Great, but don't be in my face telling me I need to side with you. It's all I'm saying. Don't be in my face talking about, come on, brother. No, nigga. Go do what you came here to do and stay your ass over there out of our communities, out of our culture. We're not one. Go get your money, take your ass back to Haiti and go help them. Fine, but don't be in my face. Don't be speaking for us. Don't consider yourself black when you come here. Don't get political office talking about you speak for us. I don't want to hear that shit. Speak for Haiti. That's it, nigga. When you come here, that's it. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, there's a couple of holes in what it is that you just mentioned, and like I said, there's no emotion behind it. But just to go factual, I'm not even going to dates and anything. We'll just give you the whole run. I don't know if you know
This is
Haitian
a factual
history.
page. But go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if you know much about Haiti's history, but we are the only nation that kicked our oppressors out. Like, we were invaded and we kicked them out. We beat their ass. We didn't just beat their.
Hold on, Jesus Christ. Okay, sir. Let's give you that prop. Won in 1804, and you got your ass whooped forever since. Okay, so you won.
Let him bring that up,
Hold on. Because these Haitians got so much pride when their island is literally, your island is over with, sir. So you're bragging off of 1804 when the French was weak. They wasn't even really concerned about y'all like that. When I did my research, the French wasn't even worried about y'all like that for real. But when they did decide, because they were fighting many other wars, sir, y'all were not the center of attention. Boy, panel, if Haiti was the center of attention when the French was strong, we would not be seeing these niggas today. I hate to say it, but Haiti would be a lost story in history if the French was strong and actually gave a damn about Haiti. The French was fighting the Americans, the British. They had all kind of other shit going on. Losing to Haiti was kind of like, have that half of an island. But guess what? The French came back and put that belt high in the air and told them niggas, you better pay up or else. And them niggas got to dropping them quarters. Here. You want my wife? You want my children? My dog? Just please don't blow us up. Please. For the love of God. You guys are the only group of blacks who paid reparations to your oppressors. So yeah, you won, but you paid your oppressors?
Okay.
Just take that, bro. It's better to just get unalived with your dignity. If I'm being honest, just get unalived with your dignity. Y'all should have told the French, wipe us out. So we go down as gangsters. Y'all went out like some hoes, nigga. Hoes.
All right. Talk
Actually.
about emotions. Now.
That wasn't
Like I said,
emotional. That's facts.
there's still more holes in your theory. Now, at the time that we defeated the French, they were in fact the strongest army in the world at that time. So much so
They
that
were the strongest army, but they had other wars going on, sir. You were not the center of attention.
America being one, yeah, but we were the only ones that defeated them. One, two. Not only did we beat them, we also helped America beat.
No, sir. You didn't beat them by themselves. They were fighting other people. Listen, they didn't even have a lot of troops on the island. Y'all outnumbered them 500,000. So I think they had 30,000. And a Jamaican had to come to the island and help y'all niggas out and tell y'all what to do. And then not only that, you guys fought with the French. You fought with the French. You fought with the Spanish. And after that, y'all unalived your leader, Jean Baptiste, whatever his name is. Y'all suck. Well, go ahead. Keep bragging. Go ahead.
Okay, good. So now what happened is after we not only freed ourselves, we also helped free America. We also helped free Venezuela, Cuba, many other nations.
Whoa. You didn't help free America. Black Americans are black indigenous. We fought in our wars. You guys helped out in the Civil War, but we're the ones who sparked the Civil War, sir. We're the ones who did it. We've been revolting against our oppressors since 1526. The first documented slave revolt. That's way before 1804.
And still not winning. Y'all still not winning. Yeah, I mean, this land is for you.
Wait,
You guys should
hold on,
definitely
mister.
be.
Where you at
Come
right now?
on, brother. Come on. Let me
Where you
speak.
at?
Let me speak. Can
Where
I
you at
finish?
right now? Where you
Can I
at?
finish? Okay.
Where are
So
you in the United States?
was that? I'm
Where
in
are
New
you in the
York.
United States?
So now here's the thing. Here's what happened with Haiti when you talk about we ended up paying reparations. Not that we were.
I don't give a damn because Haiti's over with. Y'all lost. Y'all the only black nation y'all can't come back. There's no coming back for Haiti. Y'all lost. I don't care at this point. Y'all not relevant. Matter of fact, Haitians are getting kicked out of the Bahamas. They don't want y'all there. I think y'all got kicked out of another country. Y'all about to get kicked out of America. Didn't the ice cream man start today? Today's September 2nd. Bro, you guys are like roaches right now. Now, I fought with some Haitians. Peasy, if you're watching this, my bad, nigga. But this nigga, you see what I'm saying? He got me started. Y'all are unwanted. And I got a Haitian half-sister. God damn it. Whatever. But y'all are unwanted.
Let me ask you something. I get that you're kind of. I get that you're. I guess somewhat rage baiting. But here's the thing.
No, sir. I'm
Yep.
factual. What did I say that was not factual?
Pretty much everything. Talking about
Wait, so let me question you. Did you pay the French reparations?
Yes, we did. Yes.
So what did I lie about?
That's it. That's all that you said.
What else I said?
Like I said, I mentioned to you.
That we're the ones that we started
You
revolting?
said we only went on independent once. It wasn't. Haiti's history. Haiti's
I didn't
history
say
is
that.
much deeper than what you know, brother.
I didn't say
Matter
that.
of fact, Haiti owned parts of America.
What part?
If you don't know.
What part?
Okay, let's take Louisiana for example. They still maintain the Creole culture. Where do you think it came from?
Oh my
Go with this
God.
lie. Did they go with this lie about next thing you know we're gonna be
Hey,
starting
look,
talking about
y'all.
Chicago?
So I figured out the Haitians. Here's what they do. They can't compete with us now. They can't compete with our history. A lot of Haitians, they only have one part of history they can compete that lasted maybe 2 years. We have history that lasts decades, keep going. They stopped. So they got to keep moving the goalposts, trying to find things to give them credit. Sir, Creole does not belong to Haitians. If you
Who
talk to
does it belong to?
no, somebody read to him the definition of Creole. Creole just means broken. Whoever colonized you, the indigenous people there, they speak broken of that language. That's it. The people of Louisiana don't sound the same as Haitians. The Creole they speak, it's not the same. You didn't own Louisiana, sir. That's number one. That's incorrect. So, sir, this is a scholar panel. I can't have you on here lying like this. You got to go. There's too many lies, too many emotions. Goddamn. Matter of fact, just for the sake of the panel, give me a second. And we got Jakari up there who got to speak.
How you doing, brother?
What's going on, brother? Give me 1 second.
No problem.
Does Creole only belong to French Haitians? Not at all. Creole language are a global phenomenon, not exclusive to French Haitians. A Creole is a fully developed language that typically arises from a blending of multiple languages, often in colonial contexts, where speakers of different tongues needed to communicate. Over time, this pidgin language evolved into native language for communities. Where else Creole is spoken? Haitian Creole, Louisiana Creole, Martina Creole, Cap Verdean Creole, that's Portuguese. Jamaican Patois is considered Creole. Talks Pisin, English, Patois New Guinean, Saran Tongo, English/Dutch. So while Haitian Creole is the most widely spoken French-based Creole in the world, it's just one member of a much larger logistic family. Creole language reflects the unique histories and cultures of the places where they developed, whether that's the Caribbean, Africa, the Indian Ocean, or the Pacifics.
He was like that. They like, damn, he just debunked me. Now I lost my talking points.
Yeah, pretty much. Goddamn. Like, listen, one more time. If you hop on my panel, you better be a dog. You better know your shit. If you don't know your shit, you gonna get ate up. So come on here with your shit online. Don't say, nigga, we did this. Nigga, we did that. Nigga, we shut your bitch ass up. You ain't do shit. Next.
Look, I'm telling you,
Jakar.
Chicago was coming up next. He was gonna talk about Chicago next after he got done with New Orleans.
Yeah, we had time for it. Tonight's just not Haitian's night. Jakar, talk to me, brother.
Yes, sir. I'm FBA out of Texas, and yeah, I'm just amazed at how all these people, Caribbeans and Africans, come over here to our land and then talk down on us, and then why they over here, which is amazing. And I just want to talk about the American Indigenous to America.
Okay.
A lot of them keep saying that we are not indigenous to America, which is a lie, because the oldest human skulls that was found in America was black people.
Sir, I fully agree with you. But tonight I made a panel very special telling people we're not going to use black scholarship tonight, because every time we bring up black scholarship, they just denounce it. They don't like when black people are educated and we give them findings like that. You're 100% correct. Tonight, we just gave white European facts that help support our claims. So I know what you mean. We know that. We talked about it already. They don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, and that's I get what you're saying, because it was another finding. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a white tea guy, and he took the skulls from. They found some skulls from Egypt that was black people in Egypt that were there during the times of Pharaoh, and then he took some skulls from the slaves that were in the Americas, and he compared the two to see if we were related to them. and he, in his discovery, he found that our skulls are totally different, and that
Right.
we are not related in no way, shape, form to indigenous African people. So I don't get how all these people keep claiming that they want to claim us, but then talk about us. But we're not the same as them. We're not even the same DNA or nothing. But they keep getting mad at us because we're delineating, because we're not related to y'all. It's
All
as
right.
simple as that.
Simple as that. And we don't want to be. That's it. And it should be no problem at
Exactly.
all. All right, brother. Appreciate that. Damn. Do I want to talk to Richly right now? Oh, he about to. All right, bro. God damn. Just
Yeah. British.
you got it. But
I've been
hold
listening
on,
to.
everybody. This nigga, he's the wish version of Tory Lanez. He came on the other night. We dealt with him the other night. Then I dealt with him again this morning, and he's back again. So I guess you're now a part of the show, brother. After 3 times you come up here, you're a part of my show now. So now you got to make this a routine where you come on every night now. I gave you an introduction.
Bro, we follow
You
each other
know,
back. I have nothing against your opinion, man. Like,
you know what I'm saying? So, everybody, this is Richly. Talk to us, brother.
you keep calling me innovation of Tory Lace. Tory Lace is not even America. It's quite African, but it's fine. But I want to say what I want to say. You keep talking
First of
about.
all, hold on, nigga. Don't bring all that. Nigga, slow down, sit down, and let's talk.
All right, you have to listen to me.
You
You
got to
can,
stop jangling your keys.
all right, let me just talk, bro. I don't want to take much of your time. So you talk about Africa, America, I know Africa, but like I'm 31 years old. I've never heard Africa claim me their Africa claim me Black America. If you say you are not one of us, you are not one of us. Like it's not a big deal. No hard feelings. Like, I've never heard someone from Africa say it's a fault that you must be a part of us. We are more than 2 billion people. We don't need much people.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
for real. To be honest, like I'm tired of being called nigger word and called all sort of name because of what you all show on the TV for other side of the world to see. No
Perfect.
good reputation. I mean, why should I need you? I don't
Yeah,
care if you are Black Americans. If you like, say you are from China, you are Black, you are from China, your orange is from China. Who give a fuck?
you're
No
right.
one give a fuck. No one cares about all that. You know, like I'm speaking the English you can understand. Because if I speak in my African tone, I don't think you are educated. You are educated enough to understand. So I might just say or
Why you
talk
making
in the way you
slights?
can
Hold on,
understand.
nah. We're not gonna let you
No,
run
we
for
don't
the
give a
hour. You
fuck,
not
bro.
making
Like
no slights, you bum ass. You gotta learn our language to even communicate
we
with us.
don't care. We don't give a
You don't
hell.
realize they teach our language in your country? Do you understand that? And they
UK
don't
speak
teach
UK
yours
speak
here?
like
What do you
this.
think that means, bro?
Australia
What do
speak
you
like
think that
this.
means, bro?
So
Why
just
y'all
because I
gotta go
speak
to
like
every
this,
other continent to learn, bro?
stop yelling. No one give a fuck about you. You talk too much,
Nah,
trying to
I'm
fit
not
too
yelling. I'm
important.
just saying, bro. Like, why you had to be slight? Like, I was that paying attention to what you were saying. I was about to say you was one
I
of
have
the
already
Negroes.
said I have already said a lot yesterday. I'm telling you, no Africa give a fuck about you. Just
Hey,
That's not
talking.
Chief. Hey,
true.
hey, hey, Chief.
Because you
Hey, Chief.
goofies wouldn't be over
Hold on,
here.
hold on, Chief. Hold on, Chief. You understand something? He's been on my live 3 times. We ate his ass up last. No, Diddy. You know what I'm saying? We destroyed him yesterday. We put his picture up on a big screen. We already destroyed his ego. Hold on. So this is a retaliation thing. I just don't got the energy to be barking with him right now. So I just let him babble because I need him to feel accomplished. So maybe he can never come on my. He's trying to get his lick back. That's all it is. We destroyed him last night. I
Destroyed
just don't
you
feel like doing it again today. It
by
just don't.
telling me I dress like Black America. Is that how you destroyed me?
No. We said you look kind of fugly, and you look like the witch version of Tory Lanez, and then
And you guys go
and
check
your
my
voice,
page.
and your voice